Show of every week, and we just sort of like cover different topics than what the news cover, and more interesting ones, even though the news is interesting, but ours are sometimes political and sometimes not. But anyway, welcome everybody. Don't forget to comment and share your opinion, because obviously we want to hear it, because that makes it interesting. So put your comments ahead of below and comment away. Should we get started?
Yes, let's get started.
Yes. Right, what stories have we got first? I don't know, which one should we get first? We'll talk about, now this one is about, and I've also, I don't know if you noticed, but I just posted a video of my time in York when we went. Well, it wasn't York, but I'm just saying that because that was the nearest town there, but it wasn't York, but it was near there.
Alan's on.
Hello.
Tracy's on.
Hello, Tracy. Hello. Welcome, everybody. There was some pretty fast things there. There was literally like nearly every single thing that was fastest inside the world, like all of the world records. And the records, it might not be a world record, but it stands inside its records, inside another record place. And there was the fastest bike in there, wasn't there?
Mm.
There was the fastest motorbike, there was the fastest woman. Then there was also Volkswagen camper van, but it wasn't a camper van, but usual one is a camper van with a rocket powered engine on the back of it, and also Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
It was all mashed together.
Yes,
it was great.
5,000 brake horsepower.
So that, yeah.
Over 300 miles an hour. A 1958 Volkswagen. And actually, it's road legal, can you believe? Because the engine's still in it.
So can it?
I don't think he'd be road legal if he used his rocket power.
Yeah, but he can just run the other engine.
Yeah, run the other engine, and then it's just carrying a rocket. Yeah. Unless they press the wrong switch going down the M6. What does that button do?
Oh yeah. Well, because we was like went there, and because there was like loads of crowds, thousands of people. We were on the actual pitch bit because we were pressed. We got to go on to a separate bit.
She puts that bit in. She was pressed, by the way. If anybody didn't know.
So we were there, and it was quite weird because I didn't realise at the time, because Mother was a bit more further up, but it was slowly just moving slowly, like going like slowly going up, and I didn't realise it was actually going to the line. But Mother realised that.
So she's there on her own, thinking it's not going, it's not
starting. No,
I
was thinking, I've never really seen a rocket go, apart from a video. So it was a very new thing to me. But I was like, we sort of started taking some steps back. So there was another young reporter near me, and we both just started stepping backwards and just going further and further away from it, more and more steps, because we started both getting pretty scared because we were like, what's it gonna do? We didn't know what it was gonna do. It was like, we're gonna explode or something, or we're gonna go deaf. So we just sort of slowly started backing off, but it turns out it was slowly moving itself towards the line, because obviously it had all this power towards it, so they had to not press it too much, so they had to just keep it going. But when it actually came past, I didn't want to burst eardrum because I already had one, and I didn't want another one because it was quite traumatic when I first had it. So I had to I was holding the camera and I was holding a live stream, so I was like this, covering my ear while holding an iPod, while holding a phone, trying to film this. Basically, I missed it myself. I didn't see it, but yeah, that's fine.
So Carl's on.
Hello, Carl.
Dave's on.
Hello, Dave.
Done another one. Gary's on.
Oh, no.
Anders is on. Jen's on. Adrian's on.
Hello.
Robin's on.
Hello, Robin.
And Abby's on.
Oh, hello, Robin.
Yeah, that's everybody.
Well, now, first we're going to start with this topic, which I think a lot of people have opinions on, and don't forget to spread them. But
Van Transit's on.
Oh, hello, Van Transit. Now, this is. I just find this story a bit confusing. I must admit, there's a few points to it which I don't quite fully make sense to me. But Woodscaff in Cornwall. It's going cashless, so they're getting rid of cash. Now they're saying that customers will have no choice but to pay by card by the beginning of next month, which we're on the month already because it's March. So from the 1st of March, we will no longer be accepting cash payments. So the Woodcraft shared this to the Facebook page. Now the thing about the Facebook page is that you weren't allowed to comment unless you followed them. So you had to they either got followers from you, or you had to like them to follow you. If you follow somebody, like them. So so you have to
it's a bit naughty, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they put this post out saying they're not taking cash. So if it was like a business, why didn't they just say, when people walked in, or say for 3 months? So you could say, right, what are we in now? March. You could say, right, in July or June, we are stopping taking cash. Every time somebody walks in, I'll put a sign up. But they've put it on the Facebook page. So they've made a big announcement, which obviously has been picked up by the press. So they've got press attention. But if you go on to comment, you're not allowed to unless you follow the page. So it doesn't allow you to. And then when you follow it, you've got 24 hours. So one of two things there. They're not going to get a balanced view, are they? Because people that don't follow the page can't then put an opinion across. But also they've got the people that think, right, I'll follow it to put my opinion across. And then you think, oh, you don't want to follow, do you?
No.
So it's been quite a good marketing ploy, that's what I'm trying to say.
But what they say is, now they have a few reasons, but I mean, as I say, I do find the reasons a bit weird. But I'm not just saying that. If it was, the other way around, I still find it weird. So this decision has not been made lightly. But unfortunately, with the rise in bank charges, cost of withdrawing cash, and just read that one line there. Links.
Lack of cash being kept in branches, and the fact our sister bakery.
And then the sister bakery got broken into when they said we really have not had much choice. The decision led to dozens of angry comments, including lots of people planning to boycott the place. However, I don't know why it says however, they have continued to defend their decision. I suppose, you would defend yourself. The move saying it's difficult time for small businesses and they have to make changes to, continue the business's future. It says it says that it used to cost the cut of 0.8% to pay cash into the post office has gone up nearly doubled to 1.5%. So what they're basically saying is that because of the rise inside putting the cash into the bank, that they can't do it, and saying that that's the reason, saying that it's costing them too much to put it into bank. But I'm just thinking, for starters, why don't you just not put it into your bank?
Well, you
don't
have,
have to put it into your bank.
And you have to put it in your bank, because you can, as long as you keep a record of it for like tax purposes, you don't have to physically bank it. Especially, they're obviously not getting that much, are they? So why don't, like we do our shop at the supermarket and pay in cash, so they're going to get a lot of food, aren't they? So why don't they just go and pay with cash?
And
or just other businesses, because they're complaining about small businesses, but surely if they got cash, they could go like to the post office. They could go to anywhere, small businesses, and keep them going.
But the thing is about cash, you don't get a fine from the bank. But they're getting a fine from the bank from using cash, which is the very thing you don't get a fine from the bank from. You got what I mean? And then they're saying that, because the thing that also really does,
they get charged with every card transaction.
And that's what I mean.
It doesn't make
sense. But the thing that I do find a bit strange is the fact of that they're basically turning away money. They're saying the fact of, right, we've got no money, we're not, we can't keep this place going, but yet they're turning it away because somebody walks in with cash, they're going to say no, which seems completely bizarre to me.
If you'd have said 20 years ago, 30 years ago, whenever, if somebody had turned around and said, oh, I've had paying customers come in today wanting to buy something, I turned them away, you would have been considered a total lunatic. Because you just think people are saying, why the hell would you be turning customers away that got money in their hand?
And then other businesses were quick to defend the decision, to saying that they now have to travel some distance just to deal with banks due to the branch closures. The businesses has also tried to basically say to the bank about these fees, and the bank have said, oh, there's nothing we can do, which they're the people that run the banks. The bank can do something, can't they?
Well, they're not going to do everything if everybody just rolls over and dies.
Exactly, but the thing is,
they're never going to change, are they?
No, but they're saying, the businesses are saying that we're having to travel to other places to bank this thing. Well, you keep travelling there, they're getting money in the banks, they're going to open another branch near you. You have to keep them going to get them to stay, don't you? And but the thing is, every point they're bringing over, they're saying, oh, they're rolling over. Like, for example, they're saying the fact of that, oh, another bakery got broken into, so that means we're just going to stop cash. Well, the thing is, right, so say their bakery gets broken into and they take the cash. The thing is about cash and online thing, you have both. So say if your online one got broken into, you have your cash, and if your cash got broken into, you have your online one. If you put all your eggs into one basket, then it's just fully gone. You don't have that backup.
But if I had a business, and we pay council tax here, not business tax, and it's ridiculous. And I think Craven District are putting up 5% this time. I know Lancashire certainly are, and I can't remember how much it is, but I think it's about 1,400. We only have a flat, right? So they must be paying more than that, and you pay your council tax and your business tax is for the police, isn't it? Part of it, I think it's about 5%. It might even be more. Is for the police. So if I had a business that I was so terrified of having some cash in there because somebody was going to break in, I wouldn't be removing the cash. I'd be saying to the police and getting it, like they did with that. Those vans were getting broken into a lot. I can't remember where it was, and I won't say because I can't remember where it was. Workmen's vans. So they all joined together and they all attacked the police and said, "This is, ridiculous." They don't remove all the tools out of the van and don't go to work. They say, "We can't work because you're not doing your job properly." So if they're so terrified and they're paying for, you wouldn't pay a painter or decorator or anything and not let them do the job, would you? Or just splat a load of paint over. We pay the police to do the job. So they should turn around and say, "I can't even," if it's true what they're saying, I'm not, because I don't want to slate the police because they might be right and it might not be right, but they should be turning around and saying that I can't even have cash in this establishment. That'd be more terrifying for me, and get the local MP involved.
And
surely,
also,
because I know obviously, thieves target a business if it's got poor security and somebody's putting on Facebook that they've got a load of stuff there or anything. Obviously, thieves target businesses, but I can't believe that's the only business in the area that's been targeted. So if they're too scared to keep cash in because it's such a violent area, there must be other businesses.
But
so getting rid of the cash isn't going to stop it, because thieves aren't just going to say, right, there's no cash, so we're going to stop thieving now. Once the cash is gone, they're going to think of something else to steal. So it doesn't stop it. It's putting a sticking plaster on, isn't it? A momentary
you can also steal online money. And the thing is,
and the thing is, they don't realise that. They don't realise it.
Because of first you have all your money can go. The thief aren't just going to go into your online money and just think, "Oh, I'll just take a few pounds." They're going to take all of it. So then, or at least trying to slow the things so you don't notice.
And then there's no bank left because these people stop paying in cash because there's no banks. So there's no bank to walk in and say, "Look, I've lost all my money on this digital thing." You've then got to get on the phone, if you're lucky, or on the internet, and you're dealing with.
And the thing is, when you got no money, how are you supposed to pay for your internet and how are you supposed to pay for your phone, and you're charging for your electricity? And then, everything is just, if it goes all online, then you literally can't do anything, because once your money goes and you can't, or, electricity goes down, then you just can't do a single thing.
They won't see it. But that's what I think, they're rolling over, aren't they? Because that's why there aren't the banks. That's why the post offices will be next, because they can clearly pay into the post office. If you Google it, there's a post office in the vicinity of that, and you can pay into a post office. So it's just a load of crap, as far as I'm concerned.
But the thing is, why don't they just pay with cash? Why don't they just go around using the cash?
Because they've got a load of promotion from it.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying. Right, now, comments. These are the comments on the post, the ones that I have followed. A lot of posts, comment. So somebody's put, "I do hope you change your mind over this, and I'm still trying to keep cash alive, and I really don't want to live in a cashless society."
Well done, you.
Yes.
Is that Sarah?
No, I don't know who that's.
Yeah, it's Sarah Woodley. Well done, Sarah.
No, there's a full stop there. There's somebody else. Then Sarah, but Sarah's still saying a point.
Oh, well done, Sarah.
Sarah gets to, says she opts to always pay cash, only so.
Would no longer be visited.
So
well
no
done,
longer
Sarah.
visit him. Because the thing is, and I know people might think, well, that's petty of you, but the thing is, they're petty, not giving them the option. They're just fighting back with it because of they have not given them anybody the option, so they took away that thing. So then people think, well, I'm not.
They don't care. I don't think it's petty.
Well,
they don't care about me.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying. That's a better way to describe it.
I don't have anything.
They don't care about us.
No.
So why we can't care about them?
I don't care as long as they take cash
and then
and card and that.
And then I think Lisa's put, "Sorry to hear this. It is so important to support keeping cash alive.
I sympathise with your position, but I can't stand using my card for every tiny little purchase. Choice for the customer should be available everywhere." Well done, Lisa. We've got to the stage that the customers aren't important, isn't it? It used to be customers always right.
And then...
Oh, Sharon Hamlin.
Now, Sharon says...
Oh, dear, Sharon.
She wanted to start supporting the calf next time she visits for a dog walk, and that she doesn't understand the problem with people, has loss of,
Well,
people
going cashless.
Cashless.
So she says, you put it back. She says she wanted to support a cafe next time she's visited for a dog walk, and that she didn't understand the problem people had with going cashless. Well, you need to look up things, Sharon, and you'll see why it's an issue.
And then I don't know if this is still Sharon, it might be somebody else, but it continues on the same page, and it might be somebody else. "I haven't been paid with cash since I was a teenager, so what's the difference in paying for everything online? There is no need to go to the cash point to get cash out."
Well, it says since a teenager. She might be about 19. We don't know how long it's been. But I don't understand that.
Mm,
They don't understand. That's what they mean. They don't understand
And
that when
then-
it goes, how there's going to be no interest. And somebody was putting another point across. I don't know whether this is true or not, or whether it happened, but they said when it goes digitally, then there will be a time on your money. So if you don't spend that, it goes. I don't know about that, but I read one thing about somebody that's an expert on it, and they said there's no interest then. If there's no physical cash, there's no interest. So you won't have the bank giving you any money for having your money in your account like you do now. If you have some savings, they put it in a building society or whatever, they'll give you some money.
I suppose that makes sense.
But if there's no physical cash, I don't really understand it, but that's what he was saying.
Is it not
There's
because
no
of,
interest.
like, when you put your cash, your money in there, they use that cash, don't they, to give to somebody
Yeah.
else? So they're paying to use your
And
money.
they'll charge every
so there's no
transaction.
physical cash there.
Yeah.
Then they can't. They're not you're not doing anything, are they? Because there's nothing. They don't have to pay you for anything.
And what they don't understand is banks, when it's a business, obviously they charge because they're making money. A business should be making money, or they work on the premise that it's making money. So they then, every time they put money in, every time they take money out, that's a job for the bank, so they get paid for that. But when you've got a personal account which you don't make any money on, there's no charges, or there's many that aren't. Maybe some people do pay it. I certainly never have paid any charges. But once cash goes, you will then get charged, because there'll be no other way of you living. So the bank have got you under their thumb, haven't they?
Well, they can charge you for
They
every
can charge
transaction as
every
much as they
single
want.
transaction you want.
And then somebody else, I don't know if it's the same person or not, it doesn't say, it just continues. It's so sad how pity
I'll do this one. It's Lorna Winifred.
And
the bit annoyed me about this is it says, it's so sad how petty customers are being about this card only. So you used to be able to comment, obviously, and then they blocked the comments from people that are challenging it, basically. And I thought, yeah, Lorna, but you're allowed, if you disagree, you're petty. That's what I mean. That's why I put that comment on. So if somebody's going to put something out on Facebook as controversial as cash, they've got to accept that they're going to get opinions. Like our news thing, we can't just block people because they don't have an opinion that suits ours. Like electric cars, there's people living on there, we don't like them. There's people living on there. And so she's gone, Lorna Winifred's gone, it's so sad how petty customers are being, customers in inverted commas, are being about it being card only. But it's not petty, is it? There's valid points.
Yeah, but you read the rest of it out.
No, it just goes on for ages.
Well, yeah, like,
how about now is the time to support local businesses? This is Lorna Winifred. More than ever, maybe pay by card and drop some coins in the tip jar if you're so set on using cash. They just don't get it.
Then that's the thing.
Set on using cash.
I know, and then the thing is, then it's having, you're basically punishing for wanting to keep cash alive, because then you're having to pay more money. You know, you're having to, right, so you paid for your meal and then you're having to give an extra tip. Which
well,
also,
not really, but what I'm saying is
also a tip is for the business. You think, right, I have a
well,
nice
they're
service.
going to break in and nick the tip jar, aren't they? If you look at it that way.
Yeah, but I've had a nice service, so I'm going to do it. But the thing is, the service people haven't been nice to you by giving you the option to pay by cash.
No, but if they're so fearful of cash being in there and they're getting broken in, they're going to break in and nick the tip jar.
But they're saying the fact of about this cash thing. Literally having somebody handing you cash does not take over your whole life, does it? It's just there. You know, it's just a sad little tub machine. You know, it's there, and you can just put it into your wallet. You know, it doesn't matter. You don't have to keep it in there, and it doesn't take. You know, it's not a big deal to have the cash there. But it is a big deal in the fact of paying, but it's not a big deal for the person who owns the business to have it just sat there, is it? So I just don't see why they need to get rid of it.
And she sort of contradicts herself here, because she put, yes, cash is king, but when the banks are closing, fees for paying in and taking cash out are on the increase. What are the choices there? That's why they're closing, Lorna, because you're not fighting it, you're just doing it. And this is what you can't get through to them. It's quite frustrating, is this one. It just is, because you just think that you've written it yourself. If we don't stand up, that's it.
I mean, obviously, everybody, as I said, everybody's allowed their opinion, but it's just that they're not bringing a point across. They're not saying, like, this is the reason why. You know, they don't seem to just say, I don't understand it. That's it. They just say, I don't understand it.
Oh, I haven't used cash for the past 10 years, so it doesn't matter to me. But they'll say, but you can't go through to everybody anyway. So, God, I've got so many comments now. We've been having a rant. Have plans to put King Charles on notes, right? Are you usually? So Gary says, have they plans to put King Charles on notes yet? Not heard. Is it?
You know that.
What Gary says. I've not heard any. Maybe they can't get his ears on. That's not very nice, Gary. Hooking by says, hello, Matilda.
Hello.
Gabby Doo says, hi, Tracy, Neville, Dave, Gary, Adrian. Danny says, me and Rachel said hi.
Oh, hello.
Abby says, she's certainly not going there.
Oh, right.
50 Thunder says, hello, you wonderful people. Neville says, the banks need our cash to lend to borrowers. Doesn't make sense. This is how they make profits. I think as it'll just go digital.
Well, because then they'll
Neville.
charge you
And
to
they'll
pay,
charge
won't
it. But Dave says ours is going up 9.9%. Van Sanders says, any excuse to get rid of cash. Cal says, what happened to cash is king. Gabby Doo says, perhaps police are better in nice rural areas, but in cities we get ignored. You know, they get ignored here, believe. Well, it depends who you are here. Gary says, they will, and how much money you have. Gary says, they will have to close when the electronic banking system crashes, as they do quite often. Van Transit says, it's a slippery slope. Aaron says, I nearly forgot, but I made it. Tracy says, tell me about it since the storm, and still no internet online. Has buggered it all up. God, you've had a long time, Tracy. Gary Doo says, when you do the show outside, there's a table which says plants 50 pence and charity shops exist, and the cheap antique shops, you say you have to always be able to pay in cash there. I always will. Yeah, well, we do a 50 pence charity store, which obviously you've seen on the thing. We're just starting it again now because they're just starting growing now, the bulbs. And obviously people pay in cash. I'm not going to be there with a card register. I just leave it, and we have an honesty box. And as many of you will know, our honesty box got stolen. And so we put up CCTV and we caught the person in the act. And they had to pay it back. But we don't know whether we got it all back because we don't know how much was stolen because we don't keep a check on it. We used to get it to, like, if I saw any notes in there, obviously I'd take them out and pound coins, but I didn't bother about it. So we got our honesty box stolen. That I don't then go, right, that's it. I'm going to only do card. I just accept it, think, right, that's it, and put CCTV up. I don't, and she sorted it out otherwise. I think she called the police on her son, so the police contacted me. So it was done, you know, the police knew, but you don't just give in, do you? Oh, I'm not doing a charity store now because it got stolen. There's ways around it, aren't there? So anyway, that's what I think. Gabby says, I drew some cash out from the bank and they gave me tons of hassle over it, but I insisted and they had to do it. Well done, you.
Yes.
Well done. Adrian says, I had my car serviced in MRW this week. The man only takes cash. Well done to him, Adrian.
Can I say something?
Let me just get to the point. It's true, it will have to use by date. Tracy says, there's charges here in Ireland. A 50th fruit machines will be boring without cash. Yeah, they will. Well done. Good point. And Tracy says, good point. Good point. 50. Right, go on then.
What fruit machine?
Bandits, that's what we call fruit machines.
What?
You know when
What do you mean the ones where you twist it?
Well, you can twist it, push it, pull it, put your coins in. That's what they call the fruit machines.
But you don't get
you know
fruit
when the fruit goes
round?
round? No, you pull it, don't you? And the fruit goes round.
There's no fruit
But then
in there.
generally it's like people just
Sweets.
sort of then sort of use the word for the whole of it, like fruit machines, like bandits, rather than specifically one thing. And then people know what they mean. Because they've all been on the fruit machines, they just think you've been in an arcade.
What do you mean by an arcade?
Well, yes, but they have fruit machines in there. I'm sorry, the news is cancelled tonight.
Yeah, what about all them businesses? Because of,
exactly, that's what I'm trying to find.
It's not an arcade without the things that move the money, is it? And
No.
get you 2 pence, is there? There's just not an arcade
But people
there.
don't think because Lorna doesn't go into fruit machines. So
Oh, she would on a holiday.
Yeah, Lorna doesn't care.
But she doesn't think about it because of
But if we took everything off Lorna and took all the food away and everything and say, right, you can only pay by cash, suddenly it'd become important. But, you know, because it doesn't affect them. Like, they put these stupid comments, don't they? Well, I haven't used cash since I was born, so I don't care. Because it doesn't affect them, so it doesn't matter. Like the homeless, isn't it? Charities. I noticed a lot more charities have gone back to that tub. Haven't you? When you're coming out of the supermarket, there was a stage, like a year ago or so, where it was all, oh, can you sign up? You know, direct debit. And I never
that's
did.
so much effort that people just don't have the time.
Exactly, and I don't want it because you might not be able to plan for it that month, mightn't you? If you've had a really bad month, even a fiver's a fiver, isn't it? So you come out of the supermarket, you've got a bit of change in your pocket, it might only be 60 pence, but it adds up, doesn't it? Chuck it in. And I noticed a couple of times now coming out of the supermarket, they're back to the tubs. So they won't get any cash either. Thank you, Adrian.
Yes, thank you, Adrian. Thank you very, very much.
You
for
are
that.
a superstar.
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is a massive help.
Yes,
really,
thank you
really
very
is.
much for doing that. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much.
And Van Transit says you will only be allowed to use digital money if they decide you're a good person. Well, that's the same as it. That's going to happen. People think that's a conspiracy theorist, don't they?
But it's just.
But it happens in China, doesn't it? Aaron says, I lost track of what's happening. Something about cash. Tracy says, I just prefer doing it direct than all the other online sites. I don't want them having my info. Adrian says, great chat about cash. Matilda, right on the mark.
Thank you.
Dave says, does Matilda still tend the garden that she started years ago? I saw the video. Yeah, we've been digging it over. We've got some garlic. We're just doing garlic and potatoes and like root vegetables this year. It's just easier because the cabbages last year were just a nightmare and things just went wrong. But I think everybody had a bad year. And tomatoes were just knackered. Aaron says, I bought a viola for £45. I paid card since I don't usually carry more than £20 in cash. Charles says hi.
Hello, Charles.
And Carl says, hope you're not on the Carl says, hope you're not on the fiddle, Aaron. That's a round of applause. Well done, Carl.
Let it be explained.
Sorry about this. Right, next one. I bought a viola. Fiddle. Viola, yeah. For £40. I paid
Why
by
does he say violin? What's
card, since I don't usually carry more than £20 in cash. The viola is a bit of a restoration project, but I play violin, which is similar. And then Carl's put, hope you're not on the fiddle, Aaron, because he's paid for. It's a joke. I thought it was funny, Carl. Just don't tell Matilda it, because you might not get the reaction you'd expect.
I do find it funny. It's just, you know, I just not best with jokes.
I don't think you need to tell Carl that you're not best with jokes after that reaction. I think he'll have worked it out for himself.
Well, it's because the words are hard to sometimes digest.
Neville says tradesmen always prefer cash, and this is another thing about tradesmen when people put on it, because a lot of it says about tradesmen, they go, oh, it's tax evasion. And I think not everybody is out to evade tax. I mean, I've paid tax since I was 16, and I use cash. I'd rather have cash, so nobody's out to evade tax.
Well, I was thinking today as well.
But they're going to do that with something. If somebody wants to do that, they're going to do it another way. If they're so done on it, but then you've got to think about it. I mean, I'm not encouraging anybody to evade tax, obviously, but Keir Starmer just calls it donations, doesn't he? He manages to evade tax, and other people do, they're doing exactly what the government tells them to do when they're doing it in a roundabout another way. Although I'm not telling people not to obviously declare their money. I'm just saying that they're so obsessed with doing everything to the dot that they're worried about other people not paying tax because they're getting cash. They're so concerned about other people. I think we'll look at the people that are ruling you.
Well, the other thing I was thinking today, I think, is as well, cash is a social thing as well. Because when you go to the shop, if you pay by card, or you know, you contactless, whatever, you just scan it and you're off, aren't you? But which, yes, I understand you're busy and stuff. But the thing is, when you have cash, sometimes it can be a very, very fast thing. But
sorry, Abby's comment. I'll read it out in a minute. Sorry.
But cash is a social thing in the fact you can have a chat while you're getting your cash out. And also sometimes the cash is a conversation, you know. I mean, there's loads of people I've had chats with over about cash. You know, I made friends over people about cash, not whether they've had the same, whether they've gone into opinion about going over talking about cash or whether, you know, I've said, counting and we've started having a topic about another conversation and you start chatting as if you're contactless, you're not having a social life then, are you?
No, but that is more and more happening with everything, isn't it?
Yeah, well, exactly. But I mean,
some people can't even manage. People have contacted about stuff, and they can't actually physically have a phone call. There was somebody, I can't remember who it was, and they were just wanting to do by text. Now, the reason I don't like text is because the phone's so damn small and the buttons are so damn small. It's really annoying. And it takes longer. I mean, you imagine texting this conversation. It'd just be a nightmare, wouldn't it? So I put to people, a couple of people, and I put, I can't remember who it was, but I put, I'll give you a ring. They just don't physically speak on a phone. They can't do it. They haven't got that ability. And not because they've got a disability. No. I know the people.
But also, then it's another social thing, right? So if you can't have a conversation on the phone, you can't really have a conversation in person, can
No.
you?
But a lot of people can. You see how socially awkward they are now because they're not getting out and doing stuff, are they? Now, if they had to pay by cash and go to the bank and get
Then they'd
cash,
have a conversation.
yeah.
Getting them out there.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
once you start having a social life, then you start having a life. Because if you don't do that, then you don't have a life. Because then once you do that, then you want to start, achieving things, and that's the way you have a life.
And these people that are fearful that they're just going to get mugged or broken
No,
into because they've got a tenner in a pot. And that when I put a comment on, I try not to comment on Facebook because
And also, they should be built enough to defend themselves.
a lot of
well.
people, the people that they're doing the groups and everything, they're just putting up something, aren't they, so that you answer back. It's clickbait, isn't it? And you see somebody put something completely controversial, like they'll put something like Ukraine should be bombed or something, so they know they're just going to get loads and loads and loads of people going on putting comments on it, aren't they? That's why they're doing it. So I try my best not to comment, but this particular one I had to because it was about cash. And then I give in because you get a lot of people saying, yes, we need cash is king, they're fine. And then you just get the other comments and they're just so stupid. And one of them put, well, if they have cash in there, they're going to get broken into and basically killed and stuff like that. And they would. And I said, right, well, do you have a mobile phone then? Because you cannot walk down, if you are so fearful of having a tenner in your property, you can't walk down the road with a mobile phone because people in London, apparently, I mean, don't live there, they're getting mugged for England.
And the other thing is, say you got your phone, you got no cash on you because of, done that. Then when somebody comes up to me, you say, right, get your bank details out. And do this, send me this, do that, and they're having to do it because they're being threatened with a knife or whatever. So they've got to have this exchange with this person who could hurt them, whatever, and having to give all their bank details over, how much ever. Well, if you've just got cash on you, they're just going to rob how much you've got on you. So that's all that's going to happen. Once they've got that money,
they're going to mug your phone.
Well,
you
yeah.
can't.
But
there's not many people.
You want bank detail bit.
There's not many people that can live without some sort of digital device now, and it's going to get even worse if you take cash away. So I can walk down to the co-op. I don't need a digital device on me at the moment. But if nobody pays with cash, I will have to walk down to the co-op with a digital device.
He's just gone over there.
Exactly. And that's but this is what I'm saying. No, because I saw my conversation. No, because of I was saying it. So then they're saying, oh, you could get mugged for cash. Well, you're going to get more mugged for your phone, aren't you? So then, this is what I'm saying. If you sticking plaster. Then what they should be doing is saying, right, we need more police. We need more police, and we need to sort it out and people to get harsher convictions if they break into the cafe. And sort the whole of the judicial system. Instead, they turn around and say, right, we're removing cash. But they're going to break in and get the electronic stuff.
But the thing is, if they steal your phone, because you've got to pay by your phone, you can't get a new phone. So you can't get a new phone to be mugged.
Look, excuse me, Vodafone. I'm really wanting to get mugged. This is absolutely ridiculous.
I've just been mugged.
Yeah, and
lucky enough I'm having to use my brother's phone because I've just been mugged and I can't pay to get a new phone.
So Billy, I've been mugged with your phone. Mum, no, you can't. Not with your track record. Get yourself a tenner, you'll be fine.
Well, I can't because everybody's stupid enough not to pay by cash. And then the other thing is, I don't exactly know if this is fully correct, but I'm pretty sure it does make sense. The way they track a traffic jam is by how many phones is inside an area.
Oh dear.
So if you've got loads of phones all squished together from traffic jam, so somebody did it and they got a bucket full of phones and just put them on a road and they caused so much disruption.
I'll have to try.
Yeah, I think you have to wire up all the phones though, and they caused so much disruption. All it was a bucket full of phones.
And the traffic was flowing freely.
Yeah, there's nothing. It was like really quiet.
If they can't get cash, they're going to learn all these tricks, aren't they? Where people are. Even if you have a thing that does, I don't have the tracker on my phone, but a lot of people do, don't they? It says allow, doesn't it?
Well, things like Snapchat and stuff, they've got it on there.
I'd never be stupid enough to have anything like that, where anybody could track it. But so it's quite easy for the robbers at the moment, isn't it? Because they've got cash and they've got idiots that go on and like Snapchat and tell people the location. So that's quite easy to find those. But once cash goes, it's going to be more difficult for them. So they're just going to up the ante that they'll be able to find any phone. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to stop. These people saying, oh, get rid of cash and the crime will go down. It won't in any way, shape or form. They'll just deal with other ways because they've still got the criminal mentality. They're not just going to start working at the Aldi, are they? Anyway, right, Abby Perkins, after all this time, you're going to get your comment read out. Can I buy Billy with cash? Yes, he's a fiver.
No.
What, a tenner?
No, because if Abby wants him, we might as well make a bit.
Oh yeah, you bid on him, Abby.
I do a bidding.
Well, just hope somebody else on that wants him as well. Probably won't be, so you'll probably win him. But it's a starting bid of a tenner. 50 thunder, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great outfit, Matilda. You look awesome. Hi, Mum. Great channel. Thank you so much. That is absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much, Adrian, for 50 Thunder. It is a massive help. Thank you so much. Yes, it is indeed. It really is, seriously. So thank you so much for doing that. Thank you, Adrian, too. Thank you both of you very much for doing this. And right back to Carl. Thank you, Jane. Adrian says the gardening could be an idea for member videos. Yeah, we'll do one if you want, Adrian. That's fine. I'll do one this week. Aaron says I'm not pronouncing stuff correctly. A viola pronounced viola. Sorry, Aaron. Is larger than a violin, but the string setup is C, G, D, A instead of G, D, A, E.
I really know that.
Abby says Keir Starmer.
Right.
Abby says she would much rather text than speak on the phone, so there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't, and the other way around. Devania's on.
Oh, hello, Devania.
Van Transit says contactless, literally. Yeah, you're right. Aaron says, I know a guy who always called instead of texting. Unfortunately, he had learning difficulties and I felt creeped out by him. Oh, that's very nice, Aaron. He would call randomly for no good reason. Tracy, we don't talk as much anymore, though. No, I agree, Tracy. And Ushi says Elon Musk is king. Well, we've all got our own opinions on this.
Got a story about Elon Musk
On this channel, and I wouldn't tend to agree, but that's your opinion. Well done, you. And Aaron says I've seen very, in capital letters, controversial stuff on Twitter.
That's what Twitter's about.
I think everybody has that's been on Twitter, Aaron. Andy says, what kind of dog was yours? We used to have a lurcher. Tracy says, because we are getting on with life and that it brings. Devania says, did you see what happened at Gargrave Co-op? A self-service till got axed and everything got nicked and they still haven't managed to fix it. Where were we when they said that it's an impossible to break in? It attacks back. Was it Caton? I think they're changing them now, Devania.
Well, it's because of it was his co-op. You're seeing it's obviously get stolen a bit because of it. They always have these sort of things, like for example, where you have these fridges and stuff that's all locked and stuff. So it's obviously a high crime area. And when you go in, and when you go in there, and the cash machine outside of it says, you do realise if you steal this, there's going to be really big consequences.
It fights back. I don't know what it does. In fact, you feel like smashing it to see what it does.
You know, one of those claws that trap things, like one of those old-fashioned, like really old ones. You know, back in the evil times. He has one of them on the picture as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Aaron says, I can't believe 2020 was just 5 years ago.
It was.
2019 was 6 years ago. And then,
hang on a minute, I know some. 2000, right?
Yeah.
Was 25 years ago.
Well, I can't believe that. Ushi says, let's go close all the prisons. Abby says, let's not. Raymond's 34 minutes late, but at least you're on. Rob's on.
Hello.
Neville says, I suggest you get a one-way ticket on SpaceX. Don't really understand that. Aaron says they'll never get rid of cash as legal tender. I think they might do if we don't fight it, Aaron. It's only the public that can stop it. Because if nobody pays cash tomorrow, they will get rid of it. So if everybody paid cash tomorrow, they'd be having to print some more. It's only us that can do it. Gabby says, make giant prison on Falklands, move all prisoners there, turn site into public parts.
I do often wonder why they don't just get a huge, ginormous prison, like just take up an island and just put everybody there. I do often think that. Why?
Abby's made a really good point. You can text people when you're having a poo. You can't do that when you're ringing someone.
Really?
I think Billy does.
I feel like you can.
No, doesn't. That was just a joke.
Well, what was he doing yesterday when he was talking to Ryan?
It probably does, actually. Well, I don't know. I don't go in there to know. Rob says, I'm getting a brand new electric car on disability. I've driven it. It's fantastic. You should definitely test drive it. Rob, no! For you, but no, we would never test drive an electric car. That's shocking. Adrian says 35 minutes and no Taylor yet. Well, you've just asked for it now, Adrian. Cal says, can't you wait until after Abby?
Well, it was a big awards on I think it was Saturday, and I just literally, there was a big award thing, and I haven't really heard anything about it. I don't know why nobody's told me anything about.
And Dave says, Adrian, please don't encourage. Yoshi says Elon Musk will own all of us soon. He's lost. Well, I won't tell you the story. Let's get to the story. 50 Thunder. If cash disappeared, what would the beggars on the street ask me for? And I don't know. I'd hate to think.
I don't know.
Right. Not laughing at beggars.
No.
Oh, well,
no.
but beggars are different, aren't they, to homeless?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you're begging.
Right. So Elon Musk might no longer be the most wealthiest man inside the world.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
He's just a little bit less wealthy than what he was. For anybody that doesn't know what Elon Musk looks like,
if
or wants to have a look at him, but I'm sure everybody does.
If he's lost some money, does that mean that he's like we're earning more than Elon?
No.
Because we're
never in this lifetime will we earn more than Elon.
No.
Can I just ask something as one of the questions? Because I thought this was really interesting, and it's for all of you.
Well, I don't know. Should you? Go on.
You're not allowed to Google it. I'll know if you have. But, right, ISBN numbers. I was reading this after I was reading something about Eric Morecambe when we've been selling his books. The system was developed by the International Organisation for Standardisation. So it's that number you see on the back of the book, you know, the barcode, right? But the question is, when was the first ISBN number put on a book, and which book was it?
Ours.
Go for it. No, it wasn't ours. You'll be amazed how long ago it was. But no Googling. Right, sorry, carry on.
I hope I knew something about the first barcode, but I don't know.
I couldn't believe it, that's why I looked at it. Because one of Eric Morecambe's came with a barcode, and I thought, has this been slipped in? Because he died in, was it 1984, 1986? And I thought, has there been, how long a barcode's been about? Because I didn't want to give somebody a book, obviously, that wasn't Eric's, even though it come in the thing. And so I looked it up, and I was amazed how long ago it was. I've just told you now that it's before then, at least. Oh, God, I'm so stupid.
You could at least not point it out, because I'm going to notice. I wouldn't notice.
So when was it, and which book was it? Abby says 1970s, that's very near. Oh, no, I'm not supposed to say that either, am I? Sorry, I'm no good at this, Abby.
Right, Elon Musk is losing money. He's lost 100 billion pounds, which is 25% of sales from Tesla, because of, isn't it been something like selling off a bit of it? Is that a bit what he's done? But a lot of it's to do with the fact of he's obviously he's been getting involved inside the election and politics inside US. And he's also, I suppose, it says
he's got a position with
Trumpy boy.
Donald Trump. He's got a job.
Donald
Trump. He's getting involved. He's got a position, hasn't he? Which I can't remember the title of it at this moment. But he's been getting involved in British politics on his ex Twitter, hasn't he? But he has actually got a paid position. Just thought I'd say that.
Why did he pay him?
Well, because he's just lost 100 grand. So he's got to make it somewhere, hasn't it? Bless him.
Well, even though he wasn't able to spend his money, I bet he'd still think, if he was working and he wasn't getting paid for it, I bet he'd think, I'm not getting paid for this job. Wouldn't it?
Well, I suppose you would,
yeah,
wouldn't you? You'd like to get paid for it, wouldn't you?
No, I mean, but like any small job, like if you said to him, right, empty out bins for a day, I think, no, I need to get paid.
But he's obviously thought when he's got the job with Trump, that's going to escalate him up, hasn't it? But it's gone the other way, hasn't it? And I'm not saying that that's to do with Trump. I'm not on Trump's side, on his side or against him. I'm not saying it's anything to do with Trump. I think, personally, it's because people can now see Elon Musk.
Well, yeah, but I think one of the things is, I think for Trump supporters, I think they just, because they want to support Trump, I think they just sort of, they just have to ignore, I think they just ignore him. You know, the fact is that Elon's there and just think, I think they've just sort of, I don't think they're not going to vote for Trump just because of Elon's there. I think they just sort of think, we're just going to have to ignore him for some reason he's there.
Yeah, but on the news, what the mainstream media, and well, obviously want people's opinions on this, is saying that the reason why his car are going down in value, why he's lost so much, is because of his association to Trump. But in my opinion, it was seeing him. Yeah, because he came across so badly. So if I was an electric car buyer, let's just say I could buy a brand new electric car, I go pottering off to the garage and buy one. And think, oh, well, Tesla are the one to buy. That's how it be in my mindset. But when I my first question in my head when I saw him behaving on stage when he was being interviewed was, how the hell is he the richest man in the world? That's because his behaviour. So that would really put me off buying a car.
Yeah, so I don't think,
So I don't think it's, I think it's actually the public seeing it. So although he's very, very famous, you don't naturally
you see a picture of him,
exactly.
Really, you don't
You've never seen him in interview. I've never have, unless you really follow him. And now he's put himself out there. People are seeing him, and I don't think he came across well at all. I think he came across terribly. So that's my opinion.
It was weird because it was an interview. I don't know, it's just weird. And then also he started picking up a chainsaw randomly. And then obviously he's done other things. But yeah, I think it's just the fact of the reason why he's gone down on money.
Yeah, that's why Neville's put his relationship to Trump has caused Europeans to buy less Teslas. But that's what they're putting in. But I think personally, I mean, some of them will, but he just didn't come across well, Neville. So a lot of people won't think on that mindset.
Because as soon as you think Elon Musk, you think Tesla.
Yeah.
But when you think
that's my opinion. I just think, it could be that as well. But it's not just that. In my opinion, it's a multitude of things, and one of them was seeing him. He looked. Well, I'm not going to get sued by the richest man in the world, whether he's lost 100 billion or not. But he looked. I was surprised. Let's just say that when I saw him getting interviewed, I was really surprised. And I've never seen him interviewed before.
I suppose because when you expect the richest man in the world, I suppose you just expect very, I mean, I'm not saying he's not intelligent, but I suppose you can be intelligent without looking intelligent. But what I'm saying is like how you act, isn't it? You wouldn't you expect somebody to be really intelligent?
You expect them to act a certain way,
don't you?
He said something.
That's the thing that confuses. Because he'd like have a talk and wouldn't say a point. So if Trump talks, he's bringing out so many points.
Whether you agree with it or not, he's saying all his points.
And and when he says stuff, he's remembering it all. So I wouldn't have to bring up the stuff he brings up because he can remember it. He's obviously got the intelligent. He's very intelligent, isn't he? So
yeah, whether you like him or not, he's intelligent.
But when he talks, he just doesn't seem to bring out a point. That was
like a child, and he was all over the place, and he was so skitterish.
And maybe he's just excited to be on TV.
Yeah, but if you're the richest man in the world, you would have thought you got past that stage. Fair enough if it was you getting interviewed with Taylor Swift. You could understand if you were jumping about all over like a little child because you were a child.
Yeah, he was, interviewing you might be really excited to have him.
Yeah, but you think, I mean, how old is he? About 50? You think he'd have got over it by now, and especially in his position, he's in such a high position, isn't he? You think he would become across a lot more professional. Let's look at JD Vance, like him all over him. He does come across professionally. He didn't. He just looked like a bit of a. He looked unusual.
Well, it's like they also said. They were just saying about one of the people at the thing said about asked the man from Ukraine, how come you don't wear suits? I suppose you have. I don't think Elon Musk wears suits, does he? At least not that I've seen him.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I might be wrong.
That's just what I mean. I don't know. Like, it's going too far into the politics thing of it. But what I'm saying is that you're doing the story that he's lost the money, hasn't he? So. But
what I'm saying is, I don't think it's to do with the fact of It might be, it might not be. I suppose it'll be a mixture, won't it? But I think it's also, that's what you're saying about the fact it might be seen.
And Aaron says, I hope you don't get stranded in your EV because of system update. I hope he doesn't. But he has the same birthday as Elon Musk. Abby don't like him, vile bloke. I tend to agree, Abby. And Neville says, on paper only, and he is losing money by the bucket load at the moment. Tracy says, sorry for that, Aaron. Carl says, looks like a James Bond baddie. Abby says 1970s, which we said she was close. Gary says 1952. No, you're far too early. Abby says 1980s, far too late. 50 Thunder says an anagram of Elon Musk is lone scum. Dave says I would imagine 1960s. Get in there, Dave. Jackson Andrew says hi, Matilda. Adrian says Toyota has invented a solid state engine which could make EV out of date. I think they will do. I don't think it, as you know, Adrian, my thoughts on electric vehicles, I don't think they're their answer. The Bible, no, that wasn't it, Adrian. But you're very near with 1962. Abby's Googled it. You're not supposed to Google it, Abby. But it doesn't say. Tracy doesn't like him. Gary says he wants to buy my football team, Liverpool. Neville says LFC is not for sale. Raymond doesn't like Musk. Carly's better not touch my team, Liverpool. Ooh. Raymond says he's ruined himself for me. Tracy says he's a robot. And Abby says he's a complete knob. These comments, it could crack you up. Gary says he has a Lego haircut too. I'm going to go in for him. Van Transit says, seen him on Joe Rogan smoking weed. I don't know whether this is true or not, but I just saw it before I went, and then I had a look on YouTube. There's Zelensky played the piano with his penis. So, I mean, they're all at it. Raymond says Trump is weird, so is Musk. Carl says, I know where he needs a rocket. Raymond says, Abby Perkins, yes, vile bloke. Aaron says, Elon Musk is basically a 14-year-old boy in a 50-year-old man's body. Raymond says, Elon Musk is a James Bond villain, a whiny one like the last one. Rob says, me and Little Miss are going to test drive a Tesla. Oh, God, Rob! Elon does have something wrong with him. He can't remember what, though. And Tracy says, the bell's still wrong time. And Adrian says, just found out about the Toyota engine. Got to do some research on it. Well done, Adrian.
Yes, well done.
Oh, that was a long one, wasn't it?
Now, what do you think, comment below, about headlights? You know, because when you're driving down the road at dark time, they can be very much of a damn nuisance. I mean, they're useful, you know, they've got the reasons. You know, you need them, but they can be a damn nuisance. And the reason why, because they're a damn nuisance, is because they keep getting brighter because you have all these LED ones, I suppose.
Oh, a nightmare.
And RAC have done a survey and have found out what, you know, the people actually think, and they say a lot more people have actually, you know, been less driving, not doing as much driving because of the lights, because of how blinding they are. Now, we were actually, speaking of Teslas, I don't know if it was last night, I can't remember what night it was, but we were driving along the road, as you do, and there was a Tesla. Well, I think the Tesla was in front of us. I can't fully remember. I think it was in front of us, and it was like a line of cars because everybody was too slow, and they were blinding everybody who was in front of them, and you could see that it was just blinding everybody because the headlights were just so bright, and then we overtook them because we were going so slow, and then we got blinded, which was obviously expected, but you know, we had to overtake them and get rid of them, and then we got blinded by the headlights, and they were just so bright.
You know what was annoying for me was, because I was behind them, their lights were so bright, which you could clearly see was lighting the other side of the road up, so everybody's really annoyed with them, and they're putting the lights on full and blinding.
I don't even know if it was full.
Well, and because I was behind, I'm getting all the blinding, even though we've done nothing wrong. So I was getting completely blinded. So then I had to tuck in behind the Tesla, quite dangerously, really, but there was nothing else I could do, or otherwise get blinded. Because I couldn't, well, why didn't you pull back? Because he was doing about 30 miles an hour, that's why. So on an A road. So you just couldn't, so basically it was so dangerous, wasn't it? And then I had to wait until all the other cars got miles away in front, which was long because he was doing about 30 miles an hour to overtake, because I knew exactly what would happen. As soon as I overtook, if there was a car in front, I'm sat with that blinding lights on the back of me. So you have to work it. It's quite stressful. I'm surprised I made the news.
But lucky enough, Mother is the best job in the world, so it's fine.
Better than Blobby.
Drivers blah 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 blah. Where are we at here? 75% of those who drive do so. Can you just read this one?
Thanks. Motorists are avoiding driving at night because they find headlights too bright. I am so glad when I saw this story.
Is it not a lot?
Because I've been years
blinded
by the light. Yeah, I can't think of it anyway. A bit like that. Because I've been moaning about this for years, haven't I? And I'm so.
You were the first.
I was the first person to say it. RSC contacted me, but I was always moaning about it, and nobody else was. And I thought it's just perhaps I've just become old and a moaner. But now I'm right, so I'm glad about that. Motorists are avoiding driving at night because they find headlights too bright, according to new RAC survey. A quarter of the drivers surveyed admitted they drive less at night as a result of the headlamps. 75% of those who drive less at night do so because intense headlights make the experience uncomfortable or more difficult. And a further 49% say it's because they feel less safe, while 1 in 20 drivers have stopped driving at night altogether.
Can I do the government one?
You almost all agreed.
Continue.
Almost all agreed vehicle headlights can be too bright. So that's almost all. Everybody. And the others must
That's
have.
one.
Yeah. So,
How's that one idiot?
but it's Billy. Oh, it'd be Billy.
Half and one, they all agreed.
It can be too bright with more than 36% saying most are. Official government statistics?
Official government statistics say I'm just reading this one because I know I can read this bit. Government statistics show that since 2013, how many years ago was that?
I read how many years ago was 2013.
Very obvious. There has been an average of now this is quite a ridiculous amount. 280 collisions. Collisions a year. Where from what's the word?
What word? Contributory.
No, that one.
Where dazzling
headlights
were
were
contributory factor.
So, of these, 6 a year involve someone losing their life. So we're not talking about pettiness, about blindness. We're talking about lives, which is obvious because you're getting blind. You know, it's a problem. And someone loses their lives. However, this only includes the incidents where the policeman has been there to, see that was a problem.
Yeah, but this is what worries me on that.
So basically, there might be more.
Yeah, exactly. Since when has policemen become an expert on that? Because you'd have an accident investigation. Policeman's only there to take initial evidence and then go to higher up, and they say, right, we've got this. This has happened, so we need this bit of evidence. So there would be an accident investigation, wouldn't there? That's just a police officer at the scene saying, yeah, it was the lights. But when you get a blinding light after, so say there's a cyclist on the left and somebody comes and completely blinds you, you get blotches in your eyes, don't you? And if it's dark, so say there was a badly lit cyclist a few hundred yards further and you hit them because your eyes have been blinded before, that might not have been put down. Do you know what I mean? Because if you get blind, if you come around a corner and there's a car with blinding headlights and you run into it because you can't see a damn thing, yes, they're going to turn around and say, right, well, he got blinded when he came around that corner because your lights are far too bright. It's obvious, right? But not if it's further down the road. You know, when you get the blotches and you can't see a damn thing, that's not then. The police officer can't see in your eyes, can he? And so if you turn around and say, well, hang on a minute, I got blinded. And I can't stop. I'm on a motorway, or I'm in, yeah, there's nowhere to stop. So I've had to just slow down and keep going, but I couldn't see a damn thing. They're not going to put that down as fact.
Yeah, but if they want to check your eye, the doctor always shines a torch into your eye to have a look into your eye, don't they? Not used to shine a light in your eye.
So it's just obvious, the two. You don't have to.
Why do they always shine light? Because
have any intelligence.
Why do the doctors always just shine lights into your eyes?
So you can see it.
Yeah, but can't they just turn on the light up there and see it?
No, because you've got to get a direct thing like in your ear, haven't you? I think we're moving on from the headlight one there.
I mean, I just always thought, why are you sticking this light in my eye? You know? Fair enough, my ear, but not my eye.
Abby says I can't drive at night. I hate it because she goes out and does a lot of stuff, and I even getting in the car now, I think, oh God, how many idiots are we going to see? How many corners I'm going to have to slow right down? And you can see them coming from so far now, so you're predicting it, aren't you?
And it says the issue is something that it's not only happening with older drivers, but younger drivers aged under 35, which I suppose you're only getting licensed 17, so but are most likely to say, well, drivers, I suppose you have passengers that can be annoyed, are likely to say that. So drivers under 35 are more likely to say that headlights are too bright. So actually, it's older and younger generation. All of them, basically.
Abby hates them. Tracy hates them. Dave says too bright with the LEDs. Aaron says the Tesla's headlights are brighter than the sun. They blind during the daytime. Why has people started driving around with headlights on in the daytime? You know what?
My opinion is that
they're stupid.
Well, yeah, everybody's just yeah.
Somebody put they were on about brake lights now getting that bad, which they are, especially the Tesla ones with the beam across the back, and they were saying, you should keep your foot on your brake when you're at a traffic light. Does anybody do that? Keep the foot on the brake and they said so that people won't run into the back of you because then they can see your car stationary.
But don't you like?
So I said, well, your car being stationary tells you that it's stationary. So I thought, well, how do they, when cars are parked up, like they've gone into the house and they've left them at night, you don't just run straight into the back of me.
Look,
'cause I'm gonna
because
lights
you
on,
have
yeah.
lights on, your light shine onto the car because the car's reflective.
Yeah.
You know, your number plate's reflective, isn't it, and stuff.
But if you're
as
going to
well.
run into a car, if you're on a road and you cannot, you
And
need,
the thing is,
need the
but
car
the thing is,
lights
the
on.
traffic light has
What
lights.
if they're broken down?
But the traffic lights has lights as well, so
Yeah.
you're going to see them lights.
Yes. So that's another annoying thing. It's not even the headlights; it's the back ones now as well. They're just all annoying.
You know what we should do?
What?
I think I could do a sledgehammer, but I feel like a golf thing will be better. And just smash every headlight. It's like, too bright, too bright. Well, no, because the thing
Probably
about
about 10 million cars on the road.
yeah, the
if
thing
not
about
more.
traffic lights is you stopped, haven't you? So you have time to get out.
Can
Have a little
you
smash
imagine?
and get back in again.
We need a
And
less
then the thing is-
conspicuous car. We need a Tesla so that it looks like every other Tesla and nobody will know that it's us.
Yeah.
If we go in a Micra that's unique and it's got character, they're going to just immediately say with some people in a Micra, we're going to get caught. I can see it now.
Can we borrow your Tesla?
Yeah, Rob. You know when you get that Tesla, we can't borrow it. We're not just for a drive. We just want to do that test drive.
You can drive it because we need to get out of
Yeah.
headlights. So we've got busy things to do. So we just do that.
That's a good idea. Well done, Matilda.
It's me full of good ideas.
Neville says for us oldies with cloudy retinas, they are annoying and dangerous. They certainly are, Neville. They're annoying for everybody. Even
Yes,
Matilda's got perfect, young with perfect eyesight, and she doesn't even drive, and it's annoying for her.
I hate them.
Anyone says headlights are too bright. I got yellow lens to put on my glasses, anti-glare. Thank you, William. You're a superstar.
Yes, thank you, William. Thank you very,
Thank
very
you
much.
so much.
Thank you all of you for doing that. It's very much appreciated.
It's obviously a great joy and
It
help
is
to the
indeed.
channel.
Thank you.
He says you lost me playing the piano. What was that?
What do you mean by lost you playing the piano?
I don't know. God bless
Could you
you.
explain?
But thank you so much, William. I don't really understand your comment, but thank you very much. Van Transit drives in sunglasses. Raymond says rolled up like a deuce, another runner in the night. Gary says I've got matrix LEDs, don't know what that does. Abby says I don't feel safe driving at night, I only do it if I really have to. I have to do it and I don't like it. Aaron says until the mid 1970s people drove with their side lights instead of headlights in well lit areas. Carl says sunglasses at night when there's no sun. Aaron says 2013 was 12 years ago. Well, she says, me loves bright light, blind eyes are good for driving. Neville says, think about it, what will also affect the nighttime economy? Well, she says, Elon will make automatic driving cars so you don't need to see anymore. And he's lost his money, he hasn't got enough money to make them now, you see.
So look if we're safe there.
So we're safe there for a while. He's more bothered
Because
about...
we just do on TV.
He's
again,
more
it
bothered
will be
about Trump,
fine.
he's busy at the moment. He's more bothered about his new friend Trump, so just leave
I
him
wonder if he'll
there.
get bored though, because obviously it's all.
I think Trump will get bored of him.
I do wonder how they are managing together. Because
Well, they're probably not together, are they?
I mean, how I just don't see how. Because
I mean,
to
I
me
can't
they
believe-
seem different personalities, so I don't understand
Oh,
how
also
they
I
both.
forgot as well. We're after doing that thing that he did, that Nazi salute. That won't have helped his sales, obviously, will it? I mean, that was disgusting. Abby says, grr, beep beep headlights. Abby's under 35. Van Transit's
So
another.
Billy's not, but he's nearly there.
Well, he's nowhere near 35, but she says
He
I'm
looks
under
it.
35, so she could be anything.
He looks 35.
Van Transit says he does not look 35. He
Oh, he's
doesn't,
getting
Abby
age.
doesn't look 35.
He is. When you have him, make sure you tell him to grow out his hair.
Yeah, and just.
And can you tell him to
I'm
get
sure
rid
you
of
will
the
be,
beard?
but just we need a non-controlling one, Abby, so he can just get back to being on his life. So I hope you're non-controlling, Abby, and just let people be.
I mean, when it's your turn to have him on the day, fine, do whatever you want, but just
But let him get on with his
yeah.
wagons and stuff. You'll probably help him with your wagons. You would. You'd think she knows quite a lot about mechanics, don't you?
Yeah, actually.
Van Transit, it's another way to stop people driving no car and no cash. Tracy says agreed. Neville says, she
Oh,
just
you
loves
can
to
pay
disagree
for
with
everything.
everything. Well, we all know someone like that,
Do
don't
you
we,
reckon
Neville?
you can buy cash for an electric car?
No. Oh no, they stop for money laundering, don't they? I think it's a ridiculously low amount. Because they're worried about money laundering, more like they just want to know what you're doing. Gary says, I don't notice how Bright is usually too drunk. And obviously everybody is joking there, I hope.
We'll say it.
Rob says Elon has Asperger's syndrome. He's the most intelligent person at the moment. We need a lot more Elons. Oh, so he's all for him. The electric cars won't be where they are now, or the space industry is little too. But is anybody bothered about the space industry? Just comment below. Would you be worried?
But we're not saying.
Do you think it's a good thing or do you think it's a bad thing? Because it really wouldn't bother me if we weren't going to space. My argument with that is we've knackered this planet enough without going off to another one. So do people agree, and do they think that
But yeah, but just going back to what we were saying earlier.
would anybody bother if we didn't go into another planet?
But the thing is, the other thing I think is we've seen Mars through a telescope, so I'm just thinking, what else is there to see? We've seen it, you know.
I mean, it doesn't bother me, but other people it might.
I can
be really
understand why
interested
people
in it.
really are passionate about it. I can understand why people do love space, and I love space, sure, you know. But I'm just saying, yeah, I mean, Elon Musk obviously is intelligent in the fact of how he's got to his position. It's just we found it weird the fact he didn't come out as so much.
Abby says you better be joking, Gary. It will be. Abby, don't worry about it. Adrian says it's the law to keep foot on brake pedal when stood still. I don't think it is. It's the handbrake, but I might be wrong. I think it's as long as you've got your handbrake on. Aaron says bus drivers often drive with lights on all the time so they don't forget to turn them off at night. Abby says he looks beautiful. Abby says almost perfect. I think he's perfect, Abby. He's just tired looking at the moment for various reasons. Ushi says we're all driving drunk automatic driving cars. Adrian says stunning outfit, beautiful hair, such beautiful elegance and such talent. Oh, thank you. How kind. I didn't think you could see me. And Neville says I could think of a few people that should buy a one-way ticket to space. Well, I certainly could, Neville. Although it's not fair because nobody could be as bad as my ex. I'd soon send him up there on a rocket.
Yeah,
I'd learn to build a rocket.
I have 2 people
Perhaps
to
I'll get
send.
friends with Elon.
No, I have a few people to send.
No, there's only one that I think.
No, because there's another.
No, there might be.
No, there is.
But not Billy.
No, but Billy's fine. But anyway, so.
Has nobody's guessed the ISBN number?
I got bored.
They got bored of it. Is anybody doing a last guess before I reveal?
524.
What?
Number. Is it number? Oh no.
No, it's a
You said number.
Year.
So
Everybody guess the year. Right, you're not going to get the book. 19. Well, you've got to do an
That's the
actual
19
year.
bit. You know.
1900.
Yeah, that's
Anders is 1960. You're nearly there, Anders.
1950s.
Neville says a few of my neighbours for a start. Well, we used to have this awful neighbour, and I'll name her Susie, and what was he called?
Michael.
Susie and Michael. They were into everybody's business. They were the most awful ones. Anyway, they ended up, I think they just fell out with everybody. But at the moment, touch wood, we haven't got anybody, have we? And we're surrounded by people.
So the neighbours playing some music today during
No,
a very alright time. No, I'm having a joke. I'm saying
I was
that.
going to say, because we
See,
have
it
had
was
no
fine, but I'm
problems.
just having a
Since
joke.
Susie and Michael left, we have had no problems, and everybody, you know,
We had that Callum. Yeah, that was damn useful.
we're not best friends going around for coffee or anything like that, but people just see each other, go, hello, you're all right, morning, and that's perfect for me. Absolutely perfect. Gary, you're very close. Tracy, haven't a clue. Adrian, 1964. Gary's the closest. And hello from Amiens Cathedral, Notre Dame. That is the most wonderful cathedral ever, isn't it? I've been about 3 times now. You've been once, haven't you? Oh, it's just absolutely beautiful. It's just so stunning. I love it. I love that place. Absolutely love it. Van Transit 524. That's a long time ago. Abby and Capitals. I hate my neighbours. What have your neighbours done to you, Abby? Aaron says, I have a crazy neighbour who hates my car and his window is full of Jesus statues. Oh, Gary, you're so near. And as you're getting nearer. Tracy, I have a neighbour like that, Aaron. Adrian says, I've got great neighbours. Abby says they put explosives on a bonfire last night so they can get stuffed. Oh, God, that sounds... Did he call the police? That sounds a bit dangerous. 50 Thunder, what was the question again? The ISBN number on books. When did it first get put on? What year? And what was the first book? Adrian, you're very close.
What is it?
Abby says the whole house shook from the explosions. I'm not surprised. Neville says my neighbours all have OCD badly. Gary, hey, Gary's got it.
It's Gary got it, what is it?
1967.
1967. First
Yeah.
barcode. To be honest with you, I wasn't thinking really when you were talking, but actually I feel like it would have been around about that time. It would have seemed
Well, you can't take the wind out of Gary's sails.
No,
He just successfully got back from drink driving and managed to buy his car.
no, but I'm just thinking about it in the 1960s. You know, things were.
But you didn't get it right.
Well,
You said 524. You were nowhere near.
I know, but well done indeed, well done.
And the book? Anybody? Better check. Don't think they're going to get
the
the
Beatles, book about the Beatles. I don't
No.
know.
Any guesses on
Is
the
there
book?
one in 1960?
Oh, Adrian came in. You're too late, Adrian. Gary got it. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer was the book. So there you go.
So I can put a barcode on it.
Well, that was just the first one that did. I don't know. I didn't go into it. That was just the first book. Adrian says I was 5 years old and started school. Oh my God.
Well then. What are you doing now?
What are you doing? Nothing.
Oh, I don't have anything to say.
Right, it's finished.
That's what I mean. I don't know. Oh, I don't forget to watch the video.
What
that
have you
we
said
did.
about your thing?
What?
Oh,
don't forget, I have this is not the thing, I don't know what she's talking about. But I have a music account, and don't forget to check it out. It's MRW Music Official, I think it's called. And don't forget to check it out, because I just posted a video on there just like, I don't know, an hour ago or whatever. So don't forget to check that out. It'd be much appreciated if you go hit it, give it a follow, and there'll be loads of new things on there. And don't forget to become a member as well, because loads goes on the members channel as well. And I see Abby's putting Taylor Swift. Well,
can I just finish this and can you say about the crowdfunder?
Yeah.
Because Aaron's put when's the film festival again. So I'll put the link to the crowdfunder and say about businesses and £50 and you get mentioned on it.
So I'm making my own film, right? And a film is not very easy to make because it costs a lot of money and it does a lot of work, but we're willing to do it for the challenge. So I've done a crowdfund because it is going to cost me a lot of money. It's already cost me a fortune anyway. So it would be very much appreciated if people could support for the crowdfunder, and if you give over 50 and you have a business, or if you just want your name on there.
You have to have a business.
You don't. No, you don't. You can get your business on the film, and you can also get your name on there as well. Whichever one you want, whatever. Or both, I don't care. I just want the support because obviously it is going to be a big thing, you know. For example, I've got actors on it, I've got animal actors, I've got venues, I've got film equipment such as cameras and lights, I've got all these things getting over there, fuel, everything. So it would be very much appreciated if you could support the process and also
and get involved.
Yeah, and also the thing is, it doesn't just help me, but it does obviously get the film by the end of it. But not only does it help me, but it helps everybody that's involved, because not only do they get, you know, money to, you know, because everybody needs money to live, but for actors it's very important, it's money, because that means it's a paid job, and to become a professional actor, all you need to do is get paid, like literally.
And if you're a business, we're putting 3 adverts in the middle, 30 seconds each, and you will get to thousands and thousands of people. So if you're a business and you're interested, please
you know a business.
Contact us, or if you know of a business, can you tell them about it? And send them this link to the crowdfunder which I've put on.
But it helps the actors who are involved because they're professional actors, but obviously every single thing that the job they do goes on their CV, so it helps them. So it'd be really, really appreciated if you could help the crowdfunder. It'd be very much appreciated to help our film. And when the film comes, I absolutely love it. I know you will, because it's very good fun. So it'll be good.
Yeah. So the last comments are Taylor Swift. I think they want you to chat about.
Well,
So let's. So.
You know, she hasn't.
Abby's put Taylor Swift.
You know,
Tracy says, what, you don't have anything to say. Anders says, I was 5 years old. A coincidence, really. Gary says, no, Taylor, is Matilda feeling okay?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. There's been a problem with
And
her.
Neville says, Ziggy.
I'm getting there. She hasn't posted anything for ages. She's not done anything. And somebody said about how she hasn't spent so much time not posting since. Oh, hang on a minute. This is a Taylor Swift and Travis.
Gary says bye.
My Heart Awards. Red carpet. Hang on a minute. She's got red carpet. That's 5 days ago.
Gary says bye Blobby some Parkinson's. He's improved, Gary.
He's improved.
We're really impressed with him. He's going to get a certificate if he carries on. And Neville says Taylor will soon be worth more than Musk. She probably will be if he's. That's what I was saying about it. If he's lost 100,000 billion like that, and I'm not saying, because obviously we've only read that on the news, we don't know, but he's obviously lost something. They're going down, so there's different amounts that are put on there. Couldn't he then effectively just lose everything?
I suppose so. I mean, obviously he'll have some.
Because that's like
quarter
of his money. So does anybody know anything like that?
Well, if everybody...
Surely if he can lose such a horrific amount in such a short time, couldn't he effectively go bust?
Oh yeah.
Even when he's got so much money.
I mean, he won't, Abe's not live, but he could lose his title, couldn't he? Where's he gone?
Adrian says, great live, Matilda. Thank you so much for supporting it, Adrian.
Yes, thank you very much.
Rob says, I'm a big Elon fan. Tesla and SpaceX, if you didn't notice, lol. We had spotted that, Rob. We aren't big Elon fans, but each to their own, love. And Abby says, Taylor is boring now. Lady Gaga is my new favourite.
I don't have the exact details, but basically she hasn't posted anything for I think it was something like 79 days, which is the longest time since some other form of time.
Tracy says, I love the track she does with Bruno Mars, whatever that is.
Oh, I do know the track. I sort of do know the track. I think it was quite recent, not dramatically recent, but recent enough, I think. Well, as I said, she hasn't done anything. There's just been nothing. She hasn't been anywhere. She hasn't done anything.
Oh well, not to worry.
But there was just a big awards. I think it was a Brit Awards, and I haven't seen anything about it. It hasn't really come up or anything, and she must not have attended, or I don't know if she hasn't won anything or anything, because nobody said anything about it. But I don't know, but she just hasn't done anything for me to say anything. She's been quiet.
Not good.
That's obviously means she's up to something.
Yeah, and she'll probably be putting some stuff out soon, so we'll all look forward to that.
She's up to something, isn't she?
She certainly is, and I can't wait to see what she puts out.
I think she must have to do the re-release at some point, because we've been waiting 10 million years for it. For Reputation debut.
No, you need to put your thing. No?
I also am doing a music video, and it's going to be exciting music video to do, isn't it?
Yeah. So are you going to put your sign up for anybody?
So if you do, you can come along if you want to. But obviously you have to dress inside 60s dress, and please do tell me before you come, because I need to know for numbers, and also I just need to know. Obviously it will be being filmed, so it will be going online. So obviously, because sometimes people will say, oh yeah, I'll come, and then they'll turn upside down online, which if they say...
And there'll be a lot standing about.
Yeah, so please be prepared to work. I don't mean by it's going to be like,
We're not going to give it a job.
No, but if you can't, I'm just saying that because I don't...
It is hard work. It's not as... what she's saying is there's a lot of standing about, and there's a lot of retake.
Exactly. So I don't want you to turn up and say, oh, I thought this was going to be a lovely party and we're going to have a wonderful time. You are going to have a good time. But I want you to understand that if I turn around and say you have to do this, then, don't have a picture or anything.
She can be quite bossy.
Well, you have to get the job done. You've got a certain amount of hours to get a job
done. She can be quite bossy.
That's what directors do. That's why
she's not a director.
Because if the whole movie, or whatever filmed, music video or whatever just fails, they're all going to blame the director. So there's a reason why they're so bossy, because they've got to get the job done. So all I'm saying is, please, you're fully welcome to come. Please do tell me though before you come, and also just understand that might happen. Basically, I don't want you to turn up and then say, oh well, this. You were this, you were that, and then I'm like, well, if I've said no, then I've warned you. So basically, if you turn up and you're rubbish, I'm gonna say for you to go. You know what I mean? I think I'm not saying that in a rude way. I'm just saying it because I have to say it because of you don't know who's going to turn up. So
Neville says sooner or later his shares will be rated a buy, sadly, and they will rise again. Adrian says, have you liked the live, please? Thank you, Adrian. Van Transit says she's gone to Mars. Abby says Lady Gaga is a good actor. Maybe she'll be in your film.
No, I wouldn't say no.
Neville says counting her next billion. Tracy says she was in the crowd at the games for her boyfriend.
But she was, yes, she was.
Gareth says Katy Perry's going into space. Tracy says, I'd love to come. I know, it's a shame, isn't it, that you're far away. Rob says, was that upside down? Yushi says you got to work. And Gary says he looks good in flares.
Come along, Gary.
Come on, Gary.
Oh yeah, you do have to dress it. Make sure you have to dress this
1960s.
Yeah.
Thursday, 6 p.m. I always call it the Alhambra, but apparently it's the
According to Heather as well.
Alhambra.
Alhambra.
Anyway,
I don't know what she said. I don't know if it's like maybe straight.
it's ALHAMBRA.
I'm sure she said something about the S. Is there an S in it?
No.
I'm sure she said something about an S.
And it was where The Entertainer was filmed.
Mm.
It's a very famous place.
Mm.
So you'll be in your flares. You'll be in a very famous place in your flares. Aaron says he doesn't have the time and energy. Unfortunately, it's too far. Well, you wouldn't think by the time you got there if you had to do all your standing about. So don't
That's
worry.
what I mean. I'm saying if
don't
you
worry
can't
about it,
stand
Aaron.
about, then you.
Tracy says my blue would be great. Certainly would.
Mm.
Aaron says I have orchestra practice at 6 p.m. on Thursday. Anyway, well you probably won't get there on time because we need you at 6 p.m. So don't worry about it. Oji says you've got to go to work. You got to go to work. Aaron says the 1960s were a decade of change. Tracy says that's in Bradford. No, it's not. Well, there might be one, Tracy, but this one's in Morecambe. Don't let her get our one flared Gary going to the wrong one. Aaron says the Beatles went from She Loves You in 1960 to I Am the Walrus in 1967, and the first SBN barcode came out in 1967 as well, Aaron. And Dave says it's also in Morecambe, Tracy. Abby says Robbie Williams. Don't know what. Anyway, she says Robbie
Fine,
Williams.
Abby, you do whatever you want, love.
Rob says Matilda's laptop. I think I was upside down for all the words. Oh dear. Well, it's been a great night. Thank you. Have you got everything done now?
I think so. So don't forget, please do support the crowd for much appreciated. Don't forget to check out my YouTube channel. Do you want to tag it in? Maybe, I don't know if you want to.
I keep putting the thing in. I'll put it in.
Don't forget to check out my other YouTube channel, which is MRW Music Official. I just posted a video on there tonight, and have a look there. And also don't forget to look at the video I've just posted on this channel as well. Of there's loads of things. So that's like a real mashup of the 4 days, isn't it? Yeah.
Carries off to Bradford then. And 50 Thunder says if you need a bass player, Matilda, I'm free for a jam session. We have a blues band going, but you can always come along. I don't suppose they'd mind, would they? You know, it's just. There is a band playing, but they're not actually physically playing because it's our song. So they're just going to look like they're playing. Just message if anybody wants to come along, please just email us on matilda12@live.co.uk just so that we know numbers. Abby says great night, good night. Thank you so much for joining in, Abby. You're a star.
Yes.
And you, Dave, thank you so much. And Gary says good night, great news. And Tracy says great chat. Thank you so much to everybody joining in.
Thank you,
says
everybody.
bye.
Bye.
Tracy says great follows. Yes, it's been a right community tonight, hasn't it? Everybody on, or majority of people on. So thank you so much to everyone.
Yes, thank you very much, appreciated. And I'll see
Neville
you
says
later.
bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, Neville.
Yes, and yeah, I think we're off then.
Yeah.
Well, have a wonderful night and see you later.
Eddie says thank you, Matilda.
Oh yes, also thank you very much to everybody for the super thanks as well. It's very much appreciated. Obviously it just goes towards the film and it goes towards all the other projects, everything. So thank you so much for the music video, everything. So thank you very much.
And Dave
for
says
that.
if I wasn't working, I would. Well done, Dave.
Yes,
Abby says bye. Bye, Abby.
Goodbye. See you later. Bye.